Alright, so we've been sat down for 15 minutes, if that, and we've got flights booked and a hotel booked.
It's been really expensive. The hotel was £15 each and the flight's at £8 return.
We got a bit excited, so I guess we're going to Croatia.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to sit down.
Wait. It can't detect your face.
It's because I do not have face. You found it? Yeah. My name's Nathan and I run Restrap.
My name's John and I'm the marketing manager here at Restrap.
I'm Alex and I'm the brand manager here at Restrap.
I'm Gideon. I'm a friend of the Restrap people.
Each year at Restrap, we plan a big bike tour. We've ridden through France and Spain, crossed mountain ranges in Japan, covered the US West Coast and taken on the elements in Scotland. This time round, we wanted something completely different. Having missed out on the chance to visit Croatia on our last tour, it was in the front of our mind and places to visit. After browsing cheap flights and finding return flights for £8 a head, we had the whole trip booked within 15 minutes and set about planning the route. Gideon would be joining us this time round and was in charge of planning the route. The flights we booked flew us in and out of Zadar, which took us north of Croatia away from the more touristy areas like Split and Dubrovnik. We opted to head north where we knew little about the terrain, weaving our way up the coast towards Rijeka, where we would island hop our way back to Zadar. This would, in theory, make the island scenery more varied as we'd be hitting the islands of Kres, Kirk, Rab and Pag on the way back. On the way we'd taken as many epic climbs as our legs could handle, while aiming to visit parts of Croatia that are largely unexplored by bike. Sunny weather, blue seas and stunning mountains were on the cards, and it was time to get on a plane and leave the UK for the first time in 2 years.
So it begins. So we're going to start packing bikes for Croatia now. As you'll see, we got a very good deal for £8. So we fly in the next 5 hours. John is just packing his bag.
Alright, ready to go?
Yeah.
That was quick.
Now, which side of the road do we ride on?
Sandwiches for days.
What have you got?
I've got a little ciabatta bread, some sweets. I've got some sausages. And I'm gonna
Good morning.
drinking some PP to start the day. The whole thing was a pretty strange experience. We didn't really plan it to the degree that we've planned any other trips before, so kind of putting our trust into Gideon, it was it was a bit of an exercise in trust, really. Route Master Gideon,
Yep.
Where are we going today?
We're going to the mountains and then we're going north up the coast. And it's going to be easy because we've got a tailwind, kind of, and it's flat.
The first day for any bike tour, you're so pumped to go and do it that there's no better feeling. And when we left Zadar, it was basically a massive plain that kind of approached the coast, and we could see all the mountains that we were going to be crossing in the next couple of days. And it was just a really exciting time. time.
We found the pub.
Oh, banger this.
Little shady break. How you feeling, Nath?
I've got that sort of got that.
If worse comes to worse, it's just an energy gel, isn't it?
Oh mate, that's
Not me,
grim.
mayonnaise, energy gel.
What is the distance, Gideon, from the bottom to the top of the first peak? What's the distance?
It seems to say it's about a 10-mile climb, which seems pretty wild. That was a long climb.
It's 1,000 feet per 3 miles.
Just think of it that way.
We've got night vision.
Yeah, it's light switch on the wall there.
Morning.
Alright.
Are you ready to climb 12 million feet of climbing?
Yeah, well, hopefully it's not as wet as it was.
What's your hand doing?
Got it out of his system.
Why's your hand moving under the cover?
Oh! Let's go.
Milk it.
Your milk,
No longer milk a shade.
it almost turned to
It's
milk.
sank.
I can't believe you bought chocolate. What made you think that was going to work?
Morning. This is day 2. We're heading up the first big climb. Down at sea level at the moment. And I think we've got 75 miles today. And then we go back down to the coast again. So it's a bit of a dog leg.
Do you want it?
We'd ridden along the coast on the first day, and then we headed out from Karlabag, and then up from Karlabag we headed up this huge climb, which sort of ran along the coast.
I can feel the sweat dripping down my back already.
And then that was quite a sort of rocky, exposed climbing. I've never done any climbs like that before, so it was all pretty new to me, and it was all quite alpine as well. Very different to what I'm kind of used to from riding in Yorkshire and riding in Japan. They were quite sort of sharp climbs and quite shielded, and they had good views and stuff, but the climb in Croatia is a lot different. It's got a bit of a character of its own. So we sort of headed up there, and that was absolutely stunning. I felt really fresh, coming off, well, not much riding beforehand.
So yesterday we were down there. And now we're up here. And there's a long way to go still. Only a third of the way up. Wow, it's green out there, isn't it? So I told these guys the hill was about 1,000 meters high, but it's actually 1,200 nearly high. They might hate me for this. There's, and possibly everything you could imagine. Oh, and a dog now as well. We are here in Goss Beach, and we're going north along the flat bit, and then we do the climby bit, climby. Well, we reach a bit where the climbing ends, and we go across, maybe a gravel bit, maybe a walk, and then we go down here, which is definitely tarmac.
I do like to go on a walk with my bike.
It's definitely tarmac.
He says now.
side of the road and we couldn't say no. So we bought a round and it costs about a £5.
And we sort of headed up this long, very long actually, sort of wooded climb, and we felt like we were probably climbing for hours and hours, probably I think 3 hours.
The worst thing is I thought I could hear a wasp, and I was sat on the toilet, I couldn't see it, and I was like, oh no, is it in the toilet thing? And I was like...
So whenever I plan routes, I always include a gravel section. So this is the next 5 miles. Doesn't look too bad actually.
I don't like gravel. I'm not a massive fan of riding on gravel.
Not my cup of tea this. You don't get this on Zwift.
I'll to explain to the audience what's just happened.
Potentially wild dogs, potentially really well trained nasty ones. They were behind us at full sprint.
So it's just me and Nath because, well,
John and Alex got scared by a dog and ran away. So the dog was chasing them.
yeah.
All I saw was a tiny cat.
And then we summited the top and we were all really knackered. Alex especially was absolutely shattered, and we just got greeted by the most incredible view you've ever seen in your life.
Whoa, my God, look at that!
We got there at the perfect time really. The sun was setting on the coast. It was sort of an island sort of hovering out in the distance, and it just looked absolutely amazing. And then that followed by probably the best descent I've ever done on a bike, and I don't really think there's much you can do to top that.
I'll tell you what, guys, obviously that was a fucking absolutely awesome road.
That was
I'd say
incredible.
I've done plenty of coals, and that is, I'd say, my favourite descent ever.
Yeah.
That is
Madness.
unbelievable.
Nothing about my world is dry.
Right, Gideon, what's the plan for today, mate?
Today is a nice 30-mile, I'd say chiller, but it's already scorching hot on the coast to Senge.
Senge.
Maybe camp.
Probably hotel then, yeah.
I think we might be walking this bit. A bit gravelly. John's gonna hate this.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that nice pedal grazer.
I knew it'd be like this. I was like, if this is a dotted road on the Wahoo and the other one was classed as a full road,
On Google Maps, it didn't say it went dotted.
Gideon, in his infinite wisdom, had decided that instead of just taking the main road, which was right there, that we would take a left here and take a pointless gravel road just off to the side of it.
Alright, John, road's up there.
Yeah, we're down here though. And as soon as the gravel trail started, there were rocks about this big, and it was unrideable. Like, I'm with my bike. I'm not going for a hike with my bike.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you are. What are you doing now?
Getting angry.
Shut up!
Lijepo je živjet u njem, sremica zdrava ko dren, sladak je poljubac njen, divan je kićeni Srijem, lijepo je živjet u njem, sremica zdrava ko dren, sladak je poljubac njen, Srijem, Srijem, Srijem.
I'm a cat. Yeah, I think you'll probably notice John's like he's a guy who shouldn't probably wear black in sun. He seems to like be some sort of like human experiment of like sweatiness.
John's a freak.
We did try to camp. We've taken tents with us, but it's proven that we're staying at hotels a lot. This is the only campsite that we found. As you can tell, it's not very tenty.
Srca ju ne spere, mura niti drava.
Day 3. Is it day 3?
I think so.
Is it day 4? Kind of struggling what day it is. Is it Wednesday?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So Wednesday, another mountain climb.
You just catch me burping, or have you only just hit record?
I just hit record.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
It's getting a nice.
Don't want my mum to think I'm rude.
Sorry, Mum.
It's just too good. I mean, I'm not going to say one place is better than another because everywhere's different, but like this shit's all over Scotland last year, doesn't it?
Yeah. So compared to the Scotland trip, obviously that was 10 days of rain, wind, no hotels, hardly any food, midges. The two trips are probably worlds apart, where this was, you know, mainly hotels, sunshine, smooth roads, and no midges. So that was good. Actual campsite.
So we carried our tents the whole way across Croatia. We thought there'd be a lot more camping involved, but Croatia's a massive rock. It's not camping friendly, and all of the camping sites are focused around RVs.
The one night that we did camp, I think a lot of us probably regretted it. The reason that we did camp is that we felt like we were cheating the system a bit by staying in hotels every night up until then. But what actually happened was we set up the camp and it was very calm conditions, and come 1 o'clock in the morning we got woken up by being the only thing that was holding our tent down.
I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed a wee, but I couldn't get out of the tent because the tent would have blown away. I mean, yeah, you can't sleep in those conditions. It was awful.
And I think everyone will know that sound of a bit of tarp just like... I've only just realised what you guys think that sounds like.
I love coming. My tent makes
ground so hard you can't put pegs in, and then it's so windy that when you get out your tent blows away. John's getting a rock phase.
We experienced what's called the Bora wind in quite an abrupt way. We got woken up by it and almost blown away inside of our tents by it.
I think your tent's just disappeared, mate.
I think if I were to do the trip again, the only thing that I would do is probably not take any camping kit. I know that sounds like a bit of a flake out and maybe a bit of a fake out in terms of bikepacking as far as some people's concerned, but I would just stick to hotels. I think there's certain places where that is the easier option, and Croatia's definitely one of them. We didn't really need to alter the route because of the wind at all. We got to a point where we decided whether to continue on up the sheer cliff face that we did. I was the only one that elected not to do so, because to me, climbing up a mountain to get out of wind isn't what you do. But it turned out that was actually the right decision. I just didn't want to get blown off a mountain, essentially.
Quite a bit of hill.
So yeah, we did do a few climbs where there was like, you know, quite narrow roads without barriers and big cliff sides, and I know John was trembling, holding onto the cliffside a bit, but to be honest, it was, you know, a nice change. It was kind of a quiet road and it wound its way up. I think we only came across one car on the whole way up.
Danger road. So this is the health and safety in Croatia. There isn't any.
There was a hell of a lot of climbing in a very short space of time.
So it's 11:45 and we've already done 3,100 feet of climbing in how many miles? 11.3.
That's officially hilly.
Officially.
Yeah.
So sitting in the hotel, we'd seen on the TV that there was a bike race going on, and we kind of twigged a little bit too late that the bike race was in Croatia. And then we realised it was actually live TV. So halfway into the trip that we were in the middle of what's called the Crow Race, the Tour of Croatia. And what we'd done is in the hotel, as we looked at what the routes were, and we realised actually that they were going to finish in Crigvenica, which is 50 miles away from where we were at that time. So we thought, fuck it, we'll just send back to the coast where we were the previous day and we'll go watch the race.
What's the weather like?
It's pretty misty. Non-uniform day, innit? Friday. I'll take the cash shirt off to the beach with some martinis.
Bikini time.
Bikini time.
Bikini martini.
Wait till you see the bikini, mate. There's a look, mate.
You
just
sexy beast.
Just have it like that, and then it's just like dance socks or something, mate.
Which way's the wind pointing, John? That way.
Boo boo. I can't remember.
This is original, John.
Devonick.
John, look at this original cupboard.
Oh, that's where they kept the boiler back in the day. So initially we'd planned to camp most nights when we were there, and then we discovered quite quickly that there wasn't many campgrounds, there wasn't any wild camping spots, and that hotels were about £10 to £15 per night per person, which was as cheap as some of the campsites. So we just found it easier just to use like booking.com or Airbnb or something and just find this accommodation rather than hunt around for an out of the way spot. So that's kind of what we did most nights. People obviously question if, you know, is bikepacking staying in a hotel or is it camping? Well, I'd say I carried a tent around for 2 weeks to hotels, so it's somewhere in the middle. I've got us a balcony with a sea view.
We don't deserve this.
Yes, we do.
Oh, hang on a minute. That's where our hotel was. Yay! Fucking hell, he's faster than us.
National TV, yo.
Look at the winner. Look at the real winner. I think I know that guy.
Been here a week. I'm about to do the biggest climb of the trip, which you can see just over there.
So we're in a town called Matilji, something like that. Yeah, and we're gonna ride up the hill to meet the riders coming down on today's stage of the Crow Race. We're riding up to a town called Veprenik, I think, and yeah, they should be coming down really fast, and we'll probably just catch a blur of them. But then should be able to ascend on empty roads, which would be cool. Really cool. So I've got pizza.
Stay hydrated.
Go on, John, explain what we're doing now then.
I don't know, you just explained it to me and I didn't really understand.
No, didn't listen.
I didn't really listen.
Okay, so we're going. 2 minutes before. Yeah. Oh, it's overcooked now. Oh shit, this guy's doing it. Look at that.
Stay hydrated.
We had a pretty huge climb ahead of us. I can't remember the name of the climb itself, but it was probably about 4.5 hours of constant climbing. And we knew it was the last big climb of the trip, and it was the biggest climb of the trip as well. So we kind of headed up to that. There was a pub at the top, almost at the top, and we grouped up, and we were all pretty shagged and absolutely knackered at that point.
You're right there, Alex.
Yeah.
We're at the top of the big climb, the road bit, but we're gonna carry on going uphill on a bit that's off the road, just up there. If you were riding the road, this would be the top, and there's a bar at the top, but there's more at the top, so we're gonna ride more. And we're all very sad and tired, and I'm not speaking any sense.
What's at the top?
Just stuff. There's like a bench maybe that you can sit on.
Oh, that'd be nice.
And then we turn around and go back down the same bit because, you know,
there's no road.
Just going 5 miles up or whatever it is for just to sit on the bench and then go, that's nice. Then you turn around and go back down. Because that's cycling.
That was really hard. My legs hurt. Stay hydrated.
Now, John, the ultimate question: how's the bench?
It's nice. It's nice.
Gary.
So the nice thing with obviously staying in apartments and stuff is you can have some nice meals now and again, which is where we kind of discovered John's cooking skills.
John looks over these chips that he said he was so great at.
Shut up. Don't cook chips and one. There we go.
Chips for 4 is obviously way harder.
Along the route, what we'd planned to do is kind of ride up north around the bay and sort of island hop our way back. And island hop on our way back involved taking lots of ferries.
So we're getting ferried to here. We're going along the spine of this island. And then there's the main town.
That was like a big hill, that.
Lunch fair or something. And then we get the ferry from here to Valbisca.
It's all gone wrong. We're on our way to Rap. The roads are very smooth. We went off smooth road and now we're on this.
There was a main road here and then there was a gravel road there, and obviously instead of taking the very smooth and very straight A road or whatever it was, we took the gravel road where you couldn't really ride. Alex dropped his bike though, which was quite funny.
What's the plan today?
Riding from Rab to get the ferry back to the mainland, and then riding up probably the last hill of the trip, I think, along the main road. Then we're getting a ferry over to what's the place called? Pag. It's kind of like a big peninsula, and then we're riding along that and spending 2 days in Novichok or whatever it's called. Belgium.
Nathan booked up a Partmani thing. We are here. A lady has come and said it's not available, and she's taken Nathan.
I tried to book an apartment from a guy called Marco who told me the apartment was ready, and then I turned up and waited for an hour, and then his mum turned up, and then his mum told me to get in a car, which I did weirdly, and then she took me to another apartment and she was trying to tell me this apartment was better, but this apartment was really shit. It had like mould and no aircon. So then she took me to another apartment that was also shit, but it was less shit than the apartment before. And by this point, I just wanted her to take me back to where she'd picked me up from and go to bed.
Are you exhausted?
I'm knackered, she just taking me other place. I'm feeling 4 places. We thought we'd take a day off cycling and have a relaxing time in a town.
In Novalgia.
But it seems that everyone's gone home, apart from us.
And what actually happened is we turned up in a festival resort out of season and it was absolutely dead. It's going to rain. It's going to rain.
It's doing the big winds.
Big winds and big flashes, big thunder, big rain. Basically, we spent our rest day drinking beer, waiting for the rain to come in, and then playing poker with biscuits as poker chips. Last day, we've got 2 little climbs on the way to Pag, and then we go over the bridge, bear right, and we go to Zada.
I'd say the worst day of the trip for me was the last day, because it rained the most. And the trip was ending as well, and it was such a great time. We did so many good miles, and just loads of positive memories, so it seemed a shame for it to be ending. But we did have a good few days in Zadar. Oh, that was a clap! To summarise the trip as a whole, I'd call it a holiday.
I think in total the Croatia trip is probably one of the best trips I've done. It's definitely been the bike tour with the nicest weather and nicest riding consistently. As far as bikepacking destinations go, it really does have it all and it just keeps on delivering as you keep on pedalling. It's such a welcoming place to ride a bike and the riding is nothing short of spectacular. We've all come off the back of this trip having ridden some of the best roads you can ride on 2 wheels. It's packed with big climbs, amazing descents, insane views and stunning roads all the way round. You've just got to go there for yourself. We did plan the tour in a really rushed and last minute kind of way, but that definitely added to the experience. Sure, we might have spent some evenings in cushy hotels and drinking wine and cocktails, but a bike tour is supposed to be a holiday and it didn't feel like any less of an adventure. You don't need a grand plan to have an amazing bike tour, and as far as holidays go, Croatia is one of the best.
No one got lost, no one died, no one got severely ill, I didn't get the shits. There was a bit of bonking, there was a dog chase, and
I think everyone should go and visit and give it a go. Are you done with me now?